Hello and welcome back to the Battle Room. My name is Colin, and today I wanted to break down the first ever Scarlet and Violet IRL tournament. So recently there was a tournament held in Japan. It was best of one. There were 88 players who participated, and we have some of the teams from the tournament, including Pace and Rental Codes, so we can check them out. So this is the top 8 bracket here. Right off the bat, it's pretty crazy. I mean, Japan is known for being a little bit more eccentric, a little bit weird. I would say that Western players, we've like to define a meta, we like to use kind of the standard Pokemon. Obviously, there's outliers, and there's people who don't want to conform to that. But for the most part, Western players are a little bit more, I would say, less creative than Japanese players. Japan players want to find the solution, they want to find something crazy. That's not saying that they don't sometimes just run the standard as well, but a lot of times they like to get really innovative. And this is obviously the first tournament, so there's a lot of weird stuff that people are going to use just because no one really knows what to use right now. There's no clear archetypes. There's no clear good stuffs yet, you know? Also, a huge shout out to VGC Pace for collecting all of this information. VGC Pace, obviously you see them in the corner right here. Follow them on Twitter, they're amazing. If you like analytical content and just like tons of teams and stuff, this is your place to go. But anyways, again, thank you to them for creating this graphic and this Twitter thread. But Japan is pretty interesting, and this is the first tournament of Scarlet and Violet, so it's kind of a big deal. So we'll look at the top 8 teams first, and then we'll look at the top 4. So this team got top 8 right here. Kino, no Twitter, but this is a pretty wild team, mainly because of this guy. Obviously, we've got some pretty standard pieces here, like the combination of the Leopard plus Dragonite, and the Fish and Fluttermane. It's literally just 2 classic combos, and then a Mungus and the Snail. But I think the Snail is like low-key slept on, and a Pokemon that I think we're going to start seeing more and more. It's really, really obnoxious to fight. I had the honor and privilege to fight it on Pokemon Showdown last night, and I was miserable. All it did was spam Snarl, Leech Seed, and I literally couldn't kill it. It took me forever. It was like a 20-turn battle. So I think that this Pokemon has some potential, mainly because lowering attack is so good, and its ability is just so good. And I think that alone can elevate it to a strong Pokemon. Obviously, it has Snarl as well, and Leech Seed can be annoying. I'm sure there's other sets for it as well, but that was the one that I personally encountered. But yeah, this guy's team outside of the Snail, pretty self-explanatory. We got the God combos together, and they just put it onto one team. This dude's got the Mousehold plus Annihilate combo, where you can punch the Annihilate, and then it gets really strong Rage Fist. We've got a Trick Room mode as well. We've got Sun plus Fluttermane. Makes sense. There's a lot of good synergy here. Pretty interesting team, I would say. Brute Bonnet as well. A lot of Brute Bonnets. We got one Amoongus. But yeah, it just looks kind of like a Trick Room plus Annihilate team. It's like separate combos, you know? We've got the broken Annihilate thing, and then we've got Trick Room. And much like this team, it's just 2 combos paired together. Now, next up, we have a pretty weird team. We've got the Abomasnow plus Iron Bundle combo. We have the Leopard, but we have no Dragonite, and then we have Garchomp, Sylveon, Pelipper. It's such like a weird team. We have 3 ice types, which is crazy. We don't even have something that's really abusing the defense dropping outside of Garchomp. So it just seems like the Leopard's here because the Leopard's good. And then there's just a Pelipper. This team's crazy. I don't have words for it. This one's really, really weird. Let me see if they posted it. So they did end up posting it here. We've got Iron Bundle with Blizzard, Icy Wind, Hydro Pump, Aurora Veil, which is pretty cool. We have a Timid, Max Speed, Never Melt Ice, Abomasnow. We have a Life Orb Chien-Pao with Haze. Wow, to be Dodonzo, I guess. EQ Garchomp, Hurricane Wideguard Pelipper, and then just the normal Sylveon, outside of the fact that it's a flying type. This guy doesn't even have a Terra type on here. Neither does Pelipper. What the heck? This team is wild. Wow. I mean, it looks like it has the ability to, like, obviously Garchomp looks like it's good with Pelipper. Garchomp, Sylveon, good core. I guess the Sylveon's flying to be paired with the Garchomp. And then Garchomp has 2 Earthquake partners. That's hilarious. I think flying types paired with like a Terra flying type paired with a Garchomp sounds hilarious, and it actually sounds kind of good. I'll have to keep that one in the back pocket, honestly. Alright, back to the bracket here. And then we have a team consisting of Breloom, Salamence, Mischievous, Tauros, I forgot his name, the golden guy, and Iron Bundle. This team's crazy as well. This one's got all the weird stuff. Yeah, wow. Breloom is pretty neat. Obviously, it's Spore. This guy hits like a truck. Fluttermane, sorry. Obviously, is very potent. Only team with Salamence here. Also, most of these teams have a dragon, honestly. There's a lot of dragon action here. There's 2 teams without a dragon. This one and this one. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with this one. I got nothing to say. All right, let's look at top 4. So in 4th place is Lycanroc Hippowdon, which is actually pretty crazy. Let's take a look at their pace. So this team is pretty wild. We've got Hippowdon with Helping Hand Yawn. Helping Hand's really, really cool. I didn't even know Hippowdon got that. I feel like that raises Hippowdon stocks like quite a bit. I know Torkoal got Helping Hand as well, which is awesome. We got Choice Band Lycanroc, obviously going to do mad damage with the power of Hippowdon. Got Steel Terra Dragonite, which is crazy because normally it's normal. Everyone knows the power of normal Dragonite. Then we've got Terra Blast Rock Scizor. I think Rock Scizor, or not Rock, but Terra Scizor is pretty strong. Like being able to change into a Rock or Water type. I've seen a lot of Water Scizors personally, but Rock makes sense as well. You can hit the annoying Arcanine or whatever's intimidating you, such as Gyarados, and you're able to just do big damage. And you kind of catch people off guard sometimes. Rotom, very supportive Rotom. Really wild to see that. I haven't seen much Rotom. It's interesting to see Light Screen Wisp Rotom here. And then we have Choice Scarf Chi-Yu. What's interesting about this team is Beads of Ruin, obviously, great ability. Chi-Yu's ability. But the only Pokemon that benefits from it is Rotom. That's just showing the strength of this Pokemon. It's really just powering up itself, and that's all that matters. Otherwise, all the other Pokemon aren't benefiting from it existing. Obviously, we see a lot of Fluttermane plus Chi-Yu, but this is a team built around physical attackers. And this is just here to cause problems and be disruptive. I like Runation too. Like you're able to pair it next to probably Lycanroc and just deal crazy damage. You don't even need to lead the sand. And you could just Runation something in Rock Slide, and I bet a lot of Pokemon would faint. But yeah, this is a pretty cool team. I like the Scizor. I think the Scizor is pretty cool. Steel Dragonite's interesting. I don't know if I agree with it. I think I like normal more right now, but it worked. But yeah, let's go to 3rd place. So this is the 3rd place team. I actually am really familiar with this team. I spent about an hour last night just playing with this one on ladder because I thought it looked pretty fun, and it was. So we've got Tinkaton with Terra Water. This Pokemon is kind of wild. Like, being able to hit things with Gigatongue Hammer is insane. And just having Play Rough and Fake Out utility is just nice. When you actually get to hit things with the Hammer move, it's very, very strong Pokemon. And I think Tinkaton is like okay. I don't know. I think the real strength of this team comes from Iron Bundle Abomasnow, but Tinkaton was cool. Iron Bundle. This one's a Solvest, which I thought was a pretty interesting take because usually they run Booster Energy to get a speed boost, but this one was just a Solvest. It felt okay. I don't know if it needed a Solvest, but being able to run all these moves together is pretty cool. I feel like Blizzard could have been slapped on over Ice Beam, but Freeze Dry, Hydro Pump, Icy Wind, great moves. Like this Mon is good, and I feel like Assault Vest is just a way to just round out its stats because it has great defense, great special attack, great speed, bad special defense. So it just kind of brings everything together. The Electric Bird, Kilowattle, was pretty cool. I don't know why it has Terra Blast over anything else, but Feather Dance is cool, Protect and Tailwind is cool, but I feel like Terra Blast should be something else. But I guess it is Stab, normal, but yeah, or not. It's not Stab normal. I don't know why it's Terra Blast. I don't get this one. But Tailwind is cool, and it's a very fast Pokemon, and competitive is pretty cool because Arcanine does kind of run this team, so having this is awesome. Abomasnow, Blizzard. Abomasnow feels so good in this game. Like, I love the snow warning with the snow. Oh my gosh, Abomasnow is so fun. This moveset's pretty good. I personally would rather have a grass move, but the bomb still pops off. This thing's a monster in this format. Again, normal Dragonite. There's not much to talk about. The thing's boring. Great Tusk is really cool. This one is Terra Steel as well, and I thought Great Tusk was really cool. Earthquake Close Combat Iron Head is awesome coverage, and then you just get to Terra Steel whenever you want if you want that defensive typing. It was a really cool mod, and I think it really does abuse Terra. I think Great Tusk, I don't want to say slept on, because it's already top cutting tournaments, the first one, but I think Great Tusk is worth exploring. I really, really enjoyed using it, and it's one of my favorite pieces of the team, especially paired with like Kilowattle. But like Stab CC is awesome. His Earthquake just do big damage with the booster energy, and even if they're switching in Arcanine, you're still hitting them with an Earthquake. It felt good. I was a big fan of Great Tusk. Big fan. But I think this team is really cool. It has a lot of cool things. It's got a cool Tailwind setter. It's got the Hail mode. Tinkaton fits this team pretty well, and Great Tusk is awesome. This is a fun team. Let's go to second place. So unfortunately, the second place team didn't post like a paste or anything or a rental code, so we have no clue what the moves are, but I think we can get an idea of what the team did. So we've got Clear Amulet Talonflame to set up Tailwind. We have Life Orb Garchomp to just spam Earthquakes and be obnoxious next to it, and also next to Dragonite, which is banded, probably Terra Normal. We've got a Sash Fluttermane, which is pretty cool. A little bit more of a little defensive item, right? And then we've got the Golden Man with Metal Coat. So this is just a spam in Tailwind, just spam its signature move, Make It Rain, which is a spread steal move. And then we have Mousehold with Citrus Berry, which I imagine is just follow me support with Population Mob. So it looks like we've got a Tailwind Sweeper. We set up Tailwind, we do big damage with either the Golden Guy or Garchomp, and then we have these supportive mons to bring the team together. Clean up with Dragonite, clean up with Fluttermane, and they have this guy to support everything. There's not too much to talk about, but I think Talonflame is a really cool mon. It's not like it's new or anything, but Talonflame is pretty neat just because it is the only priority Tailwind user, and I think that's really important because Tailwind is so potent and so good, and having access to priority Tailwind is huge. Obviously, Talonflame is a little weak sometimes, and it has its own problems, but it's a much more balanced Tailwind user than something like Whimsicott. So it's going to be interesting to watch how Talonflame develops, because I think this Pokemon is very niche in the fact that it is the only Tailwind user, and that could be a big deal. That could be big. So Talonflame might come to dominate, and paired with Garchomp Dragonite just makes a lot of sense. I really like this team. This team is sick. All right, let's look at the champions team. All right, so we've got ourselves a champions team. We've got Brute Bonnet with max speed, by the way. It was Sucker Punch, Close Combat, Spore, Rage Powder, which is pretty sick. We've got Murkrow with Eject Button with Tailwind. We got Chi-Yu with Choice Specs. We got Glamora here with just Assault Vest, like mad coverage, which is crazy. Got the Girafarig, Hyper Voice, Gleam, Trick Room, Imprison, and then we have Charcoal, Torkoal. So this team is crazy. It makes a lot of sense, but it's kind of crazy. Obviously, Brute Bonnet is max speed because it can pair well with Murkrow, but it also helps set up Trick Room. So you have this like Tailwind Trick Room team that you just get to pick on a whim. You're just like, all right, I'm going to bring Murkrow this game. I'm going to press Tailwind. I'm going to bring Brute Bonnet and Girafarig, and I'm going to press Trick Room and sweep you with Torkoal. You know, there's like so many options to it. You could also just lead Torkoal, Chi-Yu, and just spam Helping Hand boosted Heat Waves in the sun with Beads of Ruin. I don't know what this thing really does. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not really sure. It just looks like it's mad coverage, and then it can Terra into grass to get rid of its common weaknesses. Which is good. Makes sense. It also probably does well in Tailwind. Brave Bird, crazy. It's got Sunny Day just to like power up Chi-Yu if it wants to. Or power up Brute Bonnet here. I like the Brute Bonnet set too because I feel like Brute Bonnet brings this whole team together. Brute Bonnet is a little faster than Amoonguss as well, but this Pokemon with Sash, max speed, max attack, it's still going to help you set up Trick Room guaranteed because you can't die to one hit. And also, in Tailwind, you're getting Spores that are faster than almost everything because it's just fast enough. A really, really cool team, honestly. A very cool team. It just looks like it has a bunch of options that are very hard to deal with in team preview, right? Like, do I prepare for Tailwind? Trick Room? What if they don't bring either and they just lead the Firemons with Brute Bonnet and like Glamora in the back? Like, there's so many options with this team, and I feel like that's why we saw it win this tournament. But yeah, that is the first real life tournament in Japan. It was a very interesting tournament. Obviously, there's a ton of growth for this game, but I think we got to see a lot of cool Pokemon pop off. Talonflame, Brute Bonnet, Trick Room, plus Tailwind. We got to see Great Tusk, and we got to see Lycanroc in the Sand Spam again. So I feel like this is a very exciting format, and I hope we can learn something from this. I think this is a very it's a big tournament. We're finally moving towards tournaments. We got a month until San Diego, which is very hype, the first North American tournament, and then the European regionals start around the same time, and we're about to get into it. We're about to begin playing Scarlet and Violet competitively. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me guys know what you think. What was your favorite team? Personally, I really love the third place team. This team is so much fun to use on ladder. I had a blast with it. I think Obama Snow Iron Bundle is so much fun. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and have a great, amazing day.